I think we're live. Hey y'all, Lewis at Money Positive. I'm gonna talk a little bit more about some like kind of back of house stuff, about how our company is run and the fact that we're a co-op. Before I do that, I have a financial planner related topic. I was happily wrong about something in the last stream. SEP IRAs, if you're self-employed, I don't know how I got this in my head. There is not a deadline for December 31st. You can open a SEP IRA and fund it all the way up till tax time. I checked with our accountant. That includes extensions. So hypothetically, you have until October of 2023 to fund a SEP IRA for this year if you do extensions, otherwise April 15th at normal tax time. And again, SEP IRAs are a type of account that self-employed people can open and pre-tax fund a retirement investment account with, I believe, 25 up to 25% of their income. SEP IRAs are really powerful tools. They're a great way to save money as a self-employed person for retirement. They do require a bit of work because you need to usually wait until the end of the year to figure out what your income was, and then work with a tax professional, ideally, to calculate your actual income after expenses and then how much you can put into that SEP IRA because it's based on a formula. Yeah, somehow I got in my head that there was a deadline to open the account on December 31st. There is not. Happy to be wrong about that one. It really takes the pressure off. Um, and so the other thing that's on my mind right now, like there's a lot going on with the stock market and the holidays and stuff, but inside the co-op, um, there is a lot of activity, including we are voting on creating a new type of way of rewarding labor in the co-op. So we're a cooperatively run business, which means one member, one vote. Um, Anyone like has the power to change the direction of the business. I'm founder. I was voted CEO, but I'm no more important and have no more ownership than anyone else in the company. So there's 6 members. Uh, we each own about 60% of the company. I don't own it any more than anyone else. One member, one vote. People who join are invited as employees. They go through a trial period and then are voted to become owners. And becoming a member owner in the co-op means that you get to vote for the board of directors. So co-ops are businesses, they are a type of corporation, but rather than the the like run of the business being done by whoever has the most financial equity in the business, it's done by the people who work in the business. We are an employee-owned co-op. There are also co-ops that are where the customers are the voting members, and there's one other type that's escaping me right now. But we are owned by our employees. Um, we converted from a LLC that I started in 2015 in 2019 to being cooperatively operated and owned. It's been an experiment. As far as I know, we're the first co-op investment advisor business. And I think it's been a really successful experiment. We didn't know how it was going to go. None of us had ever started a co-op or converted a business to a co-op, but I think it has made the business better. There's a perception that co-ops often are slower um, because they have to debate things. Like as CEO, I have a lot of executive power, but I also have to remember that I am accountable to the people who voted for me, that the other members of the co-op, and that if I totally go off the rails, anyone can, make a motion to vote as long as someone seconds that vote. Um, any topic can be voted on, and I could be overruled. I could even be replaced as CEO at a moment's notice. So I think, especially considering the type of work we do, providing financial advice and trying to do the best thing for people, staying accountable, having that level of accountability makes us, I think, better fiduciaries, which is a word for investment advisors and people who have a financial responsibility to someone else to do the best thing uh, for the client, not just a good thing that also happens to benefit us. Being good fiduciaries, being the best fiduciaries we can be, is very important to us. And I think becoming a co-op has made us even better fiduciaries because we are accountable to each other. Um, we're having a vote right now about our bylaws. Uh, bylaws are kind of the constitution of a co-op. Other types of organizations have bylaws too, but bylaws to a co-op are very important. And it's not often that they're changed or voted on. So we had we're making some minor edits to it. But the biggest one is we are considering creating what we're calling labor shares. In a co-op, there are no shares the way there are in other types of corporations. We can't go out and sell chunks of the company to investors. The only investor is the member owner. So they have to buy their share, and their share is worth the value um, that they buy it for, unless there's some sort of exit event. Like if someone bought money positive tomorrow, we would split any proceeds evenly. Um, but we wanted to do something to recognize um, the value and importance of labor, not just the importance of capital. So we have not voted on it yet. We are getting ready to vote on what we're calling labor shares, which is a type of um, share isn't really the right word because the shares themselves have no value. Like there's that you can't trade them, you can't sell them, you can't redeem them for cash, but they are a right within the co-op to a potential dividend that is decided on by the co-op, and they are earned by the amount of time that you've worked. As an early stage business, as a startup, we don't pay luxuriously or have amazing benefits yet. We're working on it, but we wanted to create a way that people can earn something in the business uh, based on their work. So if someone left the co-op tomorrow, they would get their member share back, but they would just get their purchase price back. We don't want people to feel trapped in the business, like that they're going to lose their equity if they leave. So by creating this class, this type of share um, that is permanent, is a way of rewarding people for their work, even if they leave the co-op. But it's also a way of creating something of value uh, for someone who's contributed their work to the co-op without them becoming just like a zombie that owns a disproportionate amount of the business. People, as they join the business, will also start to earn um, labor shares and will dilute people who were in before. But we think that is appropriate. So we'll see where it goes. The vote is ongoing. Um, but we take a very collaborative approach. I think it doesn't slow us down. Like I was mentioning, there's the perception that big co-ops get bogged down arguing about the details, which, I've certainly seen co-ops that do that, but I've also seen other businesses where they get distracted arguing about minutia instead of getting work done. I think it's more about the people in the business, not the structure. Um, and I think help it keeps us nimble because we trust each other to do our jobs. We say, like, everyone has distinct roles. They go out, they do their stuff, and we trust them to do it. But we're also accountable back to each other. And if we feel like something is going to be impactful on the business, we might still bring it to the team, get do our research, ask questions, and build consensus before acting, which might slow something down, but it also helps us, I think, make better decisions. And uh, I think people will, who try to move really very quickly often end up having to undo things and fix um, stuff that they broke along the way. And so we're a bit more methodical about it, and I think we make better decisions for it. So I'm proud of it, and I recommend. I've enjoyed being a co-op and suggest it to other businesses. Quick aside, I think it's important to become a successful, like proven business first, then convert to a co-op, because there is some work that goes into forming and setting up a co-op, like making bylaws, registering with the state where you're operating. Um, so I think something that has like a proven traction, proven model is a good candidate for making something into a co-op. I really like our voting system. We don't just vote yes or no on stuff. Um, we vote on a scale of 1 to 5. So 1 being against, 5 being in favor. And so you can have degrees of how much you approve of something. If you really don't like a vote, you can vote a 1. If you absolutely love it, you can vote a 5. And they have to, in our system, that gets a 3 or higher on average is approved. Um, it it lets people show some nuance in their vote. Like someone might, in an up or down system, someone might like aspects about a vote, but have to vote no for whatever reason, and that doesn't really communicate much back to the group to say how they really felt about it and give opportunities for feedback. So we do try to uh, talk things through and work on stuff before we voted. But we've also had votes that have gone that have been not approved. Some people voted in favor, more people voted against, and so they weren't approved. And in the co-op system, you try to trust in the collective. You're very careful about who you bring into the co-op. You make sure that they're trained and educated in the operations of the co-op, if they want to be. And I think it's been a really good system for us, and I recommend it. Again, the way a vote happens is someone makes a motion. If someone seconds that motion, it goes to a vote to the membership, and then that motion is voted on a scale of 1 to 5. So we've been working on the bylaws, and so we have sent the new language off to a vote. We'll see if it passes or not. If not, we'll go back, figure out why, up and decide whether we want to revisit and re-edit the documents. Um, yeah, but anything can be brought to a vote, and I think it's really important and a really powerful tool. And we're trying to build, a very democratic, wonderful place to work. Thanks for joining me, nerding out on some co-op stuff and some, back of house uh, inside the operations of the co-op stuff. Do reach out if you have any questions about personal finance or about co-ops. I'm Lewis, Lewis, at moneypositive.com, or you can just go to moneypositive.com and see all of our contact information. Stay warm, stay safe, appreciate y'all, and stay money positive.